Right, hello everyone. How are you all doing? I'm going to get straight into it. I know a lot of you guys watch this basically after I've recorded it, so I'm just going to get straight into it. Um, I hope a lot of you had the chance to watch the on-chain video I did earlier. Um, I'll give a quick summary now, just in case you didn't, but I would always say go back and watch it and then come and watch this first. So we'll watch the on-chain video first, then come back and watch this. But the overall summary was that we've had a lot of net outflows of Bitcoins from exchanges. It's very important we keep tracking this over the next few days to see what the rate of this spike potentially coming down. But I think we will actually be okay. Yes. So this is the main part is we're still seeing outflows of Bitcoins. We've not seen huge amounts of selling, although we do know the selling by the big boys was done back in these areas. So some was done over here, some was done in here. So you don't know if they've actually got the Bitcoins there to sell, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a weird one because we're seeing good amounts of accumulation, but we've not seen big amounts of selling. We've not seen the big wallets uptick, but they never really did uptick. Once they had done their selling, they had never really done a big uptick again. So you have to really whittle that down and say, well, they haven't really come back into the market yet. This may be them starting to add, but we do know it's the smaller players that are adding really aggressively, and the bigger players aren't really adding a lot. So we're still there, we're still seeing big outflows, but not really by the right cohorts. So that's just what you need to sort of take into mind, and we'll go from there, basically. If I then look at whale map, okay, that's fine. We still have this big Bitcoin bubble here, but overall, you're not seeing a lot. If I scroll back through, we've got 47k yesterday, which was good. But if I scroll back through, 28k, 30k, 5, 17, 30. Sorry, look at the bottom right hand corner. It tells you the number of Bitcoins that were bought. That represents, or that bubble, this blue bubble here, represents the amount of Bitcoins being bought. So 32,000, 12,000, 11, 27, 5,000, 500, 10,000. If we go to the whales, this is a lot less. But we can see there was some being bought in here, which is okay. Look in the bottom right hand corner, that's what I'm looking at now. The numbers are not huge. We had a 57k purchase, which is good, but even in here, there was nothing really in here. So we are in a bit of a weird state at this moment in time. On-chain wise, we saw loads of accumulation, but not by the right cohorts. We've got the Fed meeting minutes that came out last night, so there is going to be a pullback. We are going to go to a risk off environment. It could even be happening right now, like as of yesterday. So we really need to see this level. I've added in the local yellow box. Let me there we go. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the trackpad. So I've added in a yellow box. I think the 50% line of the channel, the uptrend line, plus the local yellow box, this area here is so key to hold. If this area here doesn't hold, I will strongly consider selling everything. So the Solana I bought and the Curve I bought, I will strongly consider selling all of that. I also do now have some Chainlink, which is I think my average price is 15.61, so I'm down 4 cents per Chainlink I have, so not the end of the world. But yeah, that's where I think we are. The Fed has basically come out and said we need to stop the music. The markets need to be reined in slightly, and I think they're going to do that. And it's not with these rate hikes. So forget about the interest rates being raised. That's not really the key thing. That just means money is becoming more expensive to borrow. Like the cost of borrowing money is increasing. That's all you really need to know about that. But the big boys in any industry, it doesn't matter what it is really, they will always get credit because they've got good businesses and they'll probably still get good rates, even though their rate will go up slightly. But the big thing for the markets is the liquidity. It's the selling of Fed assets, which is what's going to happen. We got the announcement yesterday with that being 95 billion. So that's effectively going to be the case of them reducing their balance sheet by $95 billion a month. It's a lot. We then have next 12th Tuesday. So we then have next Tuesday the inflation print coming out. So March is year on year. So for last March, the March just gone, we've got the year on year inflation print coming out. I think the forecast was expected to be 8.3, I think it was, which again would be another 40-year high. So that would be beating the last one. Year on year March, we're looking at another I think it's 8.3%. So if it comes in about that, it's not good either way. Like usually when you see those prints at 8.3, say is the forecast, if you come in at 8.1, the markets usually rally and do well, because that's like a good sign, because inflation wasn't as high as expected. But the number is 8, so it still is really high. So with it being like literally that high, it's just so high. Like your real rates are so bad. So you have to then start figuring out, well, if inflation is literally that high, the markets can't react well to it. So it leaves us with not many options. But let's go through the charts. I do expect the music to stop, the party to end at some point in the next. It could even have started yesterday, overnight tonight, or last night, sorry, and it could happen either started yesterday or some point between now and the end of June. That's when I think it'll start. But I think the back end of summer will be bad for markets. I really do. So I think going to this like 60k, 69k all-time high, I would say is a very strong chance of it not happening. And I would say there's a much stronger chance of 26k happening, 24 to 26k happening. That's our average cost basis that's always turned down by Dres, as you can see here. So it always visits. In every cycle, it visits. It's not letting me zoom in. That's really annoying. It's not letting me zoom in. But if we look here, look at the wallets. There's 27,000 to 25,000. It's so many. That's the average cost basis. So I see no reason why we can't wick into there. But let's see. I do think that's coming at some point in the year. I really do. And I do think that'll be the time to just start loading up on spot. If you go down, you could easily go down on like a leverage crash by another 10-15%, or you might even just miss some of your orders and you might have to buy slightly higher. But it'll be one of those quick events you've got to get in and out, and then just hold it. Don't play with too much leverage. Just buy and hold. But let's go through some of the charts. So looking at Bitcoin here, we're in this the main downtrend line was there. We're now in this big sort of uptrend channel or flag. It's not really a bull flag because you've got a higher high, so it's more of an uptrend channel. A bull flag is a move up to here, all the way back down, a move up to the 50% line, and then a crash down. That's a bull flag. This is an uptrend channel. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing this, a bear flag I meant. But what we're seeing here is this was a bull flag, because we went, touch the top, come down to the bottom border, move back up, come down to the 50% line, and then you wanted to burst through. But we didn't, we collapsed. And we've actually probably collapsed below, trying to retest that line. We're trying to get back into the flag, now the downtrend channel. But you've got the 43,900 horizontal resistance there. You're below that, you're below the flag, you're sort of below the orange box now as well. There's a lot of resistances there. I can sort of delete this now. But there's a lot of resistances there that aren't really great. So it is a really tricky one. I do think we need to see an speedy recovery at some point in the next day or two. If we don't, I think we'll be more range bound. But I do think we can hit this area here. I want to see movement without big flushes down. So as long as we're getting some kind of movement, I'm okay. Like I could consider filling more orders in here. But we will really have to see. I do think we we can go up, the Fed conditions are shocking, or they will be over the next few months. So there won't be the aggressiveness in the market or the liquidity in the market to get us to that 60k, 69k. It's not happening. But I think we can get a move up into the orange box of like 52, 53. But I think chances are now beginning to look slimmer. So it's one of those ones where Bitcoin, we need to watch it on the sort of 12 hourly time frames. Let's go to there. So as you can see, we closed and sort of then rejected at the downtrend at the border, and then also at the horizontal resistance. So things aren't looking brilliant at this moment in time. ETH is looking slightly better, but it's still possible we visit this yellow box. So far we've bounced on the 3140, and I was calling this for a while. Whilst we were up here, I was suggesting we could visit. I probably should have shorted it. It could have been a nice trade, but the 3140 level has held so far. We got a nice bounce from it. We've now got this sort of inverse hammer. If we can close this hammer blue, so i.e. an up hammer, that would be great. But we've got to get above approximately 3250. We're now at 3230. So again, another one we've got to track. For now, I think we're in a couple of trades. So as I said, be careful on them. Just play them small because they are both high risk. I'm completely okay with holding them for now, but in terms of adding more stuff, I'm not really that interested. I'm happy to hold and see how the market goes over the next few days, but I'm not looking to be, this isn't the time to be really aggressive. This is a time to be trying to play, but being cautious in what you do. So that's sort of what we're doing. Let's look at Litecoin. So go away. Litecoin overall, I think, is now very bad. The fact, I said this 119 is always the main level. We got above it, rejected the one above, had a nice bounce, but then only got sort of 50, 60% of the way up, rejected. And then when you can't hold this 119, you know you're going to go straight underneath. So I think we probably went a good 10%, not really 10%, but maybe like 8% underneath, something like that. But overall, I don't think this is a good one to be in. I can see us recovering, but I just think there's the possibility of downside is also considerable here. So for that reason, I'm not too interested in playing Litecoin. FTT is one I actually quite like here. I like the fact it had one main breakout, and it's a nice move. It's gone from 40 to 52. It's a 30% run. So overall, that's quite nice. So for it to come down and touch the trend line, find some support here. If it goes through this one, that's okay. It's only a 10% retrace. When Bitcoin has come back 10%, you can expect some of the alts to go more than 10%. So that's completely fine. That's normal. We're not concerned about that. But this is the area you want to see hold. So 43 something. I am considering to buy this one soon. I didn't do a call on it or anything like that. And in some of my more risky accounts, I have been adding some assets, but I don't really like share that info with you guys because it's really risky. It's more me just having fun. But yeah, this is what I'm definitely considering to add soon. I want to see how the market goes the next couple of days, but I've got my eye on this one. Solana, this 115 level is really important, but I did say we can be anywhere. We could even be in here. No, not really. I want to see us be above 115. It's this 115.64 is the horizontal resistance. Let's get a positive close. That's what I want to see tonight, is a positive close on everything. So Bitcoin is probably forming a slight hammer. Yeah. So at this moment in time, right, let me get these to disappear. We've got these white hammers, inverse hammers. We want them to close blue because it will show buyers came in towards the end of the candle. That will be positive. You can see on Ethereum, we have the same. FTT, the same. So again, this is what we're watching for. Solana, the same. So that's what we're watching for the close tonight. It's in 6 hours and 45 minutes. It's 1 a.m. UK time. So yeah, just keep that all in mind. So look at BNB. BNB's performed quite well actually. In terms of the fact it's had a strong recovery against other things. It did crash quite a bit, but it's had quite a strong recovery against other things. So overall, I think, you know, we could possibly start considering this. But I think we need to hold above this horizontal. You can see these resistance levels, they always seem to be so important. So, you reject there, you crash below, you try to reclaim, just about reclaimed. Like, there's no stopping halfways and things like that. It's weird how it plays, but you want to see this happen and then reclaim the 460 level. You can be out the trend, that's okay, but you'll likely create a bear div if you do go higher. So overall, and you're out of the main uptrend line. So the main uptrend line was this line here, and you broke down, retested it, rejected. So there's no reason why we can't get up here. It's like a 470, 480 level and reject. So I still think we can have some positive outcomes in the next few weeks, but overall I think the market is going to be pretty bad in the coming months. But BNB could be one of these ones that, let's zoom back in, that retests this main uptrend line somewhere in there and then rejects from there. So look at Matic. Matic again in no man's land, and it couldn't get above. At no point it showed any strength, which is why it's probably had a bigger sell-off than anything else. So overall, Matic I'm definitely not interested in. It's one of the best coins overall. Like, if you want to get into a coin at the start of a bull market, you get into Matic. It's just one of those ones you definitely load up on. How big or small you go in it is like dependent on you and what sectors you like. But Matic is definitely one you want to be allocated to in a bull market. But in this bearish type market, and we have been in a bear market pretty much since May. Like, the on-chain data suggests the bear market has been here since May. I know we did get the big move up, but that was by institutions, which is why we went up very quickly and then down very quickly, because they bought and then they sold at the right points. So Matic is not one I'm interested in now. Polkadot is one I'm beginning to be interested in. I don't like the fact it's out the trend. I want to see it touch 19 and hold 19 a few times and then try and reclaim above something like the $20.40 level. So I want to see it come back, retest this 19 a couple times and then get above 20.40. That's what I want to see, preferably with a lower RSI. That would be good. But even though this RSI is still quite low here, I don't think it's actually too bad, to be honest. So I'm thinking about it, but not really interested just yet, but could be over the coming days. Chainlink is the best bet so far, I think, because it's got this main downtrend. We can extend this now. It's got this main downtrend. This is called a bump and run. This main yellow line is the main uptrend though. So it is out trend. But what we can see here is this main downtrend line that's been there since November. We tested there a couple of times, rejected. We got here and we broke out and now retesting it. This is now called a bump and run. So, well, it can be a bump and run where you break out, you then retest the line again, and then you go from there. The fact there's a horizontal support here as well gives me greater confidence. I would consider placing a stop loss if we got below 14.20, something like that. So we've got some room to play with. I still feel pretty good on this one, to be honest with you. It's high risk because the whole market right now is high risk, but I think overall this one has got some really good potential. Especially if you can get a move. I mean, you're in here at 15.60. I may even add another order somewhere lower, like 15.10. I don't know yet, but probably not. But you're in at 15.60. Stop loss is at 14.20. So that's about a 10% loss if you lose. If you win, the movement on the win would be probably 19.80. So you're talking about possibly going and making 350, 400% on your money for a. So it's on leverage, sorry, it's a 10%, so 100% potential loss on leverage and a 400% gain on leverage. So you've got a sort of risk reward ratio of 4-1, which is obviously quite nice. Similar to what we had on the Solana play, which paid us like 350, something like that. And then we had the Curve play, which paid us like 200 and something. I can't remember what it was now. AVAX, out of the main trend, don't like this. If it came back and retested 76, I could possibly be interested there, but would want to see it hold a support, have a few nice closes, and then get back above 80. That's what I'd be looking for. This one, Luna could, if Luna breaks out of trend, it could go much lower. It's had so many possible bear divs. It's just such a strong coin. The coin's community is so strong as well. That's why it's not really a feasible short. But if we do go into a bad liquidity situation, which is going to happen, this is worth just taking a small position on and shorting it, holding it for 3 months. Because not right now, but in like a month or so, this might be one of those ones where you do consider shorting it, and just hold it, because you can easily get retracement down to like 45. So you're talking about potentially, I don't know, if you had 50 of them short, you'd get 50 times 50, so 2,500, which wouldn't be too bad. But obviously you've got to know that it could go to like 125, 130. So can you take the reward side if it goes wrong, or the risk side in this case if it does go wrong? So, but this is one I've definitely got my eye on for a possible short, when the time is better, time is correct. Curve is okay here. It's not brilliant. You want to see this 236 level hold. That's sort of where we entered. I'm still holding my spot position on this, as I am on Solana. I'm still holding my spot position, but the leverage positions, we sold. I want to see this bounce. If it comes back all the way to here, I'd want to hold it for a bounce here. So it has bounced at this level, so you can't get these horizontal resistances correct all the time, but it does actually look pretty good here for a bounce. Even if you come back to like 270, 280, something like that, I'll see what the market does at that point, and then the chances are I will likely sell some of my spot at that price, because we've not shown too much strength, and the Fed has come out and been really hawkish in its comments. So I think on the next rallies is the time to consider selling some of the positions we've got. If we could possibly get some new entries over the next couple of days, but I don't think we'll be holding these trades longer than a few weeks. Phantom, definitely not interested. Below the horizontal line, I said this one could get spicy because they did a staking incentive program, but this one hasn't shown any strength at any point really. It showed a bit there and a bit here, but overall it's just not doing too much. I'm not interested. Sand. So once Sand couldn't get above here, and it was battling on this horizontal resistance, and every time it was sort of looking weaker and weaker, you were gonna get this break below at some point. Yeah, it's just, I could easily see it hitting 260. I could see us bouncing here first, testing 344 again as a resistance, and then rejecting there. If we do that, I would probably consider shorting it, to be honest. Yeah, I think I will actually do that if we bounce from here and we revisit 340, because that's a 15% move. So that's enough. If that does a 15% move, Ethereum stuff might do another 10-15% move and go to 3.6. Which might be back up here and filling in the orange box. So I actually would consider a short there, that it rhymes with the rest of the market. So yeah, that could actually be a possibility. Let's look at a couple others. A few people asked me about near at 14. I wouldn't want to buy it here. This could easily come down to a 13, 11. Yeah, I'm just not too comfortable here. Let's look at waves. I know some people still like waves. I'm devastated I didn't get this short. I really am. I was calling it for ages, but I was also calling it in here, so because it was very overextended. This could now be good for a bounce to like 34. This actually wouldn't be too bad of a long, but at the same time, this is such a manipulated coin. You probably don't want to go anywhere near it. Let's look at 8 for some of you guys that like this. Sort of not got anything. No, sorry, not enough data. So yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin one last time. So tonight, the most important thing, in 6 hours and 36 minutes, we're looking for a close, possibly, let me save this, back inside the flag or the downtrend channel now, and above 43.9. That's what I really want to see. If we can get that, I feel much more comfortable holding my positions, and I would like to start looking for things like to add FTT, to possibly add a polka dot, maybe even add a little bit to curve again. But the one I've really got my eye on is FTT at this moment in time. We're already in Chainlink, so that's fine. Oh, we're back to break even now, which is nice. But, we've had the fear and greed index I saw today was at a value of like 34. So you could stay here for a few more days, get a slight wick below, another 2-3% move. And what that might do is that might create a bull div on the 12-hour and daily time frames. So I wouldn't be opposed to having a bit of sideways action for a few days and then a draw down below and a quick recovery, because that might create the bull div that's needed to go higher. And that's something that I would probably look to buy once confirmed on the close in the evening. So that's something to also pay attention to. But for Bitcoin now, we want to close above the horizontal resistance at 43,900, and that will close us back inside the downtrend channel as well. That's basically what we're looking for. And then tomorrow I'll do a watch list for you guys first thing in the morning, and I'll let you know if the on-chain data is still looking okay or if it's looking bad or blah blah blah. And we'll keep assessing every day, and that's the way to go with this. But I think if we're lucky, we'll have another 2-3 good weeks. If we're lucky, we'll have another 2-3 good weeks. And then I think after that, you'll see the markets come down considerably. But yeah, that's it. If there are any questions, please let me know. I assume there usually aren't, but a lot of the times I get asked questions in the chats after. No, I'll leave it. Okay, so for all you guys that are watching this recorded, if you have any questions, just ask me in the chats once you're done, and I'll get back to you guys at some point tonight. Probably I'll be on my phone, and I'll just be sitting on the sofa watching TV, but I'll be on my phone, and I'll be able to get back to you. So any questions, just let me know in the chats, and I'll see you all guys. I'll see you all in the morning for a new watch list and a quick assessment of the on-chain. But that's it from me. I hope you all enjoyed the stream and hope you have a nice evening. Adios, everyone.